questions or comments? Anyone want? Yes, sir.
I have a question. On the federal level, Congress has passed legislation this year that, while well-meaning, has caused considerable expenses and consumed a great deal of time that should have been spent on our members. In particular, the Credit Card Act, which encompassed all open-end loans and not just credit cards, has turned into a major problem. When consumer legislation, and we are pro-consumers, comes before you as a legislature, will you check out what the effects might be on businesses too?
Well, I think it's like Doug Armstrong. We voted for the payday loan and to help the consumers, because a lot of those consumers were being taken advantage of. Of course, that's a federal bill that you referred to. We don't have a vote on that, but we've always tried to look at the consumer.
I got to tell you, I've got some real problems, and let me tell you about the circumstance of this community. There is a person in this community who contacted me because they had a credit card with a gasoline dealer. I won't say what company it was, but it's one of the major companies. Now, for some reason, and I still can't understand why, she got this credit card. Every time she bought a purchase with that credit card from the company, they charged her $2. She bought $5 worth of gasoline. She had to pay $7 back. I just think that I don't like that idea, and I think, Steve, that is part of the reason that you've seen that legislation being considered at the federal level. Please don't misunderstand me. Don't think that I'm saying that the legislation is right, but there is something terribly wrong with a gasoline retailer convincing someone to get a credit card, and it costs them $2 every time they use it. Now, I explained to this person that there are credit cards out there by gasoline sellers that not only do they not charge you, they give you a discount. For instance, Citgo. You get a Citgo credit card, you get a 4% discount for every purchase of gasoline that you make from Citgo. There have been some circumstances where people have marketed and used credit cards in such a way that it was unfair to the consumer. There have been circumstances I've been aware of where they will advertise a rate for X dollars, for X percent, as long as you keep your payment current. If you don't make the payment exactly when you're supposed to, suddenly the X goes to 3X. And I think that's part of the reasons it's happened. It's a shame that, let's put it this way, it is hard sometimes to correct an excess that doesn't have an adverse effect on someone who doesn't do that excess. But I can assure you that when there are issues like this discussed before the Virginia General Assembly, we think about both sides. That's the reason Virginia gets a reputation of being the best state of the 50 states in which to do business, and the best run of the 50 states.
I think that addressed your question directly. Any other comments?
I think that I often say this, and I mean it with all my heart, that sometimes the comments I receive, I will say the state of Virginia is run better than any state, is run better than Washington. And our frustration over the Credit Card Act is that we were given very little time to follow the rules that we aren't breaking. And right now, in our current picture, we're the good guys. We're helping out as many people as possible, and now it's going to cost us more to be the good guys. We'll work through that. We were just given 40 days. The deadline was today or yesterday to get this in order. I'm sure you will do this, but whenever banking legislation is forward, talk to your credit union league, talk to us like we were doing tonight, give our opinion. I understand where it was coming from, but we're definitely going to give an unbiased opinion on how we're helping and how this is going to affect us.
Thank you for adding that comment. Would anyone up here want to add any comments about anything in general or what you're talking about?
Be sure, and I would encourage you to stay active. I tell everybody all the time, if I knew the answer to every question, I'd be somewhere than where I am. And I need to make sure that I need to hear from you. And if it's because a lot of, I tell you, when you look at the 3,000 bills, or how many of it is, this session is a long session, it's going to be inundated with bill on top of bill. We have to rely on you to let us know, and be sure you do. Y'all do a good job of that. And when you have your credit union day, that's great. But I'm talking about the days other than the credit union day. If you see something coming down, or a legislative affairs person says, hey, we got an issue here, you need to make sure you ring our phone and let us know, drop us an email so we'll know what's going on.
Just add to that, the majority of the bills that I get are from people at home who, call me up and say, we should look at this or that. So, not just about credit unions, but anything else. If you see something that you think that needs to be fixed, please call us.
Great. Any other comments? I appreciate people sharing information about their financial literacy programs and the credit unions in the schools and what you're just starting, and the fact that you do give out small loans, always have, always will, and sharing your questions. And again, I appreciate the legislators for taking the time out. I want to repeat what one of the, got another question?
I got a question, Jerry. If I got time for my question.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
guys,